Welcome to The Right Reasons. I'm Juliette Littman.
And I'm David Jacoby.
Let's get right into it. Let's talk about Below Deck.
Let's just start with our favorite show.
Below Deck.
Let's be honest.
Like, we were both really into it.
Naked and Afraid is my favorite show, but Below Deck is our favorite show.
Yeah, exactly. What's my favorite show? I don't even know. To think about that. Whenever you have like something like reality TV wise,
like you have to
I get
match it?
so competitive. Like,
I know, it's like, dude, watching TV over here,
the worst
Juliette.
part is that you're not competitive back. Like,
At all.
At all.
Yes, at all.
So it's
We're
like,
watching reality television, talking about it.
I
into a
legitimately
microphone.
can never win. If the other person
Not that
won't
deep.
compete, you can't win. So you permanently won. It
I like
sucks. It sucks.
Good play by me. Below Deck. Fresh meat changed everything.
Logan, the new deckhand.
New deckhand, and it was
Tattooed. Very tattooed.
no, one tattoo.
It was a large one, though.
It was a large tattoo. It was
his arm.
it was that like Pacific Islander, for those who didn't see the show, like above the elbow, over the shoulder, sort of like Pacific Islander, like Haka dance warriors tattoo.
For some reason, I feel like Captain Lee would not get down with that kind of visible tattoo. I feel like he would want more of a clean cut look.
Yeah. Did you see they only wore their blues? Because
Yes.
there's only a one night. It was only a one night charter, so they only wore their blues this time.
One night charter is a good idea. Why don't they do that more?
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Because after like your third night on the boat, you're like, do you know what I want?
To get off the boat.
Get a normal shower, maybe go for a walk outside of my
Yeah.
hotel room, order room service. You know,
Also,
live in a normal hotel.
One thing we learned is you can't jump off the boat at night.
Yeah.
What's the point of being on the boat if you can't jump off the boat
Let's
at
throw this
night?
out there though. Not being able to jump off the boat at night is probably a safe rule. It's
Yeah.
probably a good rule. If you were like doing the insurance policy for the company that rents out the Ohana, I'd be like, yeah, not jumping off the boat at night is probably a good thing. You don't lose less people at night.
Seems like a good rule. However, certainly it seems like it'd be fun to go swimming in the Caribbean Ocean at night, and then
Absolutely.
that's a bummer. I would want to do it too.
I imagine how it played out this week is how it plays out a lot of time on these boats. When there's like that one stew who's like, guys, you can't jump off the boat. They look at that person
Just
like,
do it.
we're doing it anyway.
Yeah, like,
what you do? Charge me $50,000?
Yeah. Oh, you've already done
Yeah,
that. I mean,
yeah, exactly. I'm in the water.
So Logan hit the scene. He replaced Andrew. How many more episodes are left of Below Deck, by the way?
Oh, why do you bring this up? That
Because
really just brought me to a bad place.
this
I want
reminds
it to
me-
never end.
This reminds me of Real World San Diego Part 1, the one with Brad and Cameron and all of them,
Mm-hmm.
when, oh shoot, I can't remember, Frankie,
Yeah.
who passed away, she left the show, and they had someone come and replace her, and everyone really liked the guy who replaced her, but he was barely on the show. Like, most of the show was like the first 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and you barely got to know him.
So I have a theory about Logan is in these closed environments, like you're literally on a boat
Yeah.
and like everybody else comes and goes, but your crew is your crew. Like when you add a new sexual person or proposition, a potential of it, it's like
Fresh
people
meat.
go crazy.
Not just people, the girls.
I didn't want to say it. The
girls.
girls go crazy. All of them.
Well, okay, there's not a lot. So, Kat is sick of Ben, so she needs someone new.
Yeah.
Which is so predictable. I can see it's so predictable. So, and then Amy hasn't had like any intrigue, so
No.
she's looking to get it on. I don't blame her. Good for you, girl.
And Kate basically is like, I just want a billionaire. I thought I was going to work this job to get a billionaire. Here I am a decade later, no billionaire.
What was her deal with Logan? They had met previously.
It was interesting. They were at a yachty bar, and I love the idea that there are yachty bars.
I like that this season feels more insular. Like they're picking from a pool.
They're bumping into people they
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Kat and Amy have
Work
a backstory.
together. Yeah, like it does seem like there's a point in my life, not a point in my life, there's a point where I was watching this stupid show this week where I was like, what if I became a yachty? Like, let's extrapolate that out. Like, at 22 after college, it's like, you know what? I'm going down to Fort Lauderdale, which is where you get this work, apparently.
See, it's kind of like being a ski bum, but on the water.
The opposite. Another thing got said this episode was they're all after this dude Logan or whatever, and then Kat was automatically like, oh, so I'm gonna have to chase you down after the season is over, which made me ask the question, what is the yachting season?
Oh, did she mean this yachting season or the show?
No, the yachting season. There's like an on season and off season. I assume it's the winter.
Winter. It must be winter.
So people yacht during the winter, but when it's summer, it's not like it's bad weather in the Caribbean.
No, but I guess there's like hurricane threats then or something.
Oh. Or
Maybe
you
in
just go to the
August?
Hamptons instead.
Or we go to like the Riviera or Europe or something.
Okay.
Like this summer, there's big time yacht culture going on, if you recall, in Europe.
Oh yeah, I'm very familiar.
Yeah,
Everyone's jumping off boats. You can't
Daily
do it at
Mail.
night though.
No,
Can't
not
do it
at
night.
night.
Not at night. During the day,
Stay
jump
safe.
off the boat.
Stay safe. So Amy was like really digging into Logan. How old was Logan, by the way?
I would say he's about 20, 30, 45, something like
Okay.
that.
any age possible. My brother has this theory that all women 15 to 35 dress exactly the same, so you can't tell them apart. It's kind of. It's first of all true. And,
That's a pretty good theory. Yeah.
and second of all, Logan's kind of like that for a guy. He could be like anything from 15 to 35.
Yeah.
So Amy was going after him, and Kat, she didn't fully get in. She didn't get into the hot tub completely clothed, but I really wanted her to, and it was definitely on the table.
It was. Well, anything's on the table with Kat. Do you think it's more likely that she gets in the hot tub completely clothed or completely naked?
Completely clothed.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of completely clothed. This summer featured a lot of completely clothed hot
Bachelor
tubbing.
Pad,
Bachelor Pad had like the whole squad was in there.
What was that?
Bachelor in Paradise. Remember? They were
So
looking at people
weird.
in the ocean. Michelle Money was like wearing a dress in the hot tub. Like, what
In
is going on?
retrospect,
They're like wearing heels in the hot tub. Like, what is this?
In retrospect, people kept their clothes on more than they took them off on that show. Like,
Yeah.
weirdly.
Yeah.
Like,
now that we got a little distance from that show, I'm like, that show is weird. What was I watching?
I don't know. Totally. It was so strange. Anyway, back to Below Deck. So Kat and Amy, they kind of get into it. And I have a question for you. Are you Team Kat or are you Team Amy? Or are you neutral?
Here's my thing.
Okay.
I believe that everyone deserves a little love. You know what I
Okay.
mean? That's not crazy. Do you disagree with me on that?
No.
Everyone deserves love?
Everyone deserves love.
On this season, I've already seen Kat get a little love. I think it's Amy's
Time for
turn.
Amy.
It's Amy's turn.
Interesting. But, like, in their girl fight, like, what do you think about, as a man, what do you think about their girl fight?
I don't.
You just don't, doesn't
Yeah,
register for you.
I don't. Yeah, it doesn't.
Because I felt like I was really being torn, like, oh, whose side am I on? Like, Kat's kind of funny, and, like, Amy's kind of overreacting. But then again, like, you know, Kat should just apologize and move on. I don't even know what they're fighting over.
But Kat did this like verbal judo thing where Amy ended up apologizing,
know.
and then Kat was like,
Impressive.
"Okay, cool," and was out. It was like, "Whoa, Kat,
Great
that was
job.
Brilliant. That
Kinda
was like
like-
Machiavellian brilliance."
I know, it's like really, she's showing me something more than I knew she was capable of.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. Also this week, the other like big plot line, which was just like, I was like, oh, this is what yachting is really about, was they had like some kind of like mechanical failure.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. They didn't really explain it. It wasn't that interesting. But I was like, oh, this is what the show could be. It could be all
Yeah,
about
the
like,
ins and outs of running a boat.
yeah. And I was like, okay, that's good for an hour on Discovery Channel.
You know what I like?
What?
Being catty about the charter guests.
Yeah.
Like that's when this show is like at its sweet spot. And they go like 1 out of every 7 days they get to go to a bar and they get completely slammered. Like that's all I need.
Kelly got slammered. He was doing some stripping.
Yeah. Kelly was interesting. New side of Kelly.
Definitely. He really let loose. He also had like a lot of people
By
have
let
this.
loose, you mean puked all over the sidewalk?
He puked all over the sidewalk.
That's letting loose. You let loose, for sure.
Literally let loose. He seems like he really doesn't drink that much, or at least not to like excess like that. Like it just seemed like he
I
had
think
he
all
had a real
bets are
drunk
off on your
face.
birthday. If it's
true.
your birthday, like whatever.
Treat yourself.
Go for it, man. You get like 1 day out of 365 where you can like turn up.
It's a really good point. It's really
Birthdays
true.
and New Year's, like everything's off. Whatever.
Whatever you
Do
want.
you. You get 2. The other 363, like, be fine with that. 364 in a leap year.
365.
It should always be
Sorry, I get
363.
it. I get it. Now I get it. Thanks. Cool.
No problem.
Other thing about Kelly, I thought that he might like butt heads with Logan. I was expecting them to like not get along, but everyone loves Logan.
There was one point when Logan got on board, and it was like Amy introduced him to somebody else, and Kelly walked by and goes, "I met him first." I was like, "What is going on around here?" Like that's how sick they are of each other. Like any new person comes in, like right now you could go on that boat and be like, "I've never worked on a boat. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've made fun of you guys for the past 12 months, but if you need me to wash a dish, I'll do it." They'll be like, "Oh my God, you're my best friend. Let's do it."
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like also Ben's value has like really gone down in comparison to Logan. Like Ben's not the hot one anymore.
See, I thought you meant like in an actual functional running a boat kind of a way.
No.
But I forgot the way that you view the world. It's different than I do. You're like, Ben's value's gone down. I was like, who else is cooking?
No, I'm just saying he's very unique. Of anyone, he's the
Yeah.
most stable stock.
Yeah, if
Gotta
he-
eat every day.
If he has a sick day, like what happens?
I don't know what happens if he messes up or he oversleeps or.
I don't know.
There's
man.
no room for error for Ben.
Here's the thing, like someone can make an omelet. It just
It's
won't
true.
be like gourmet.
Actually, at one point, Eddie made a late night pizza, didn't he?
Yeah, which is harder than you do than you think.
You're the pizza expert.
I am the pizza expert.
I love Eddie. He's so great. Just such a cute guy.
I don't know. Eddie was kind of dorky this episode when he's
Total
like,
teddy bear.
mechanical failure.
Yeah.
Captain Lee. It wasn't one of us. It
What's
was
wrong
like,
with that, though?
I don't know. It was just so dorky. And he said this. Oh, this is my favorite line of the show. When he's like, that's what yachting's all about. Pulling off a sick maneuver and looking good doing it. I was just like, you are such a yacht dork. Like,
So
no one
true.
thinks that you docking your boat is a sick maneuver. You know what I mean? Like, jumping out of a plane and then, like, wingsuiting by a mountain is a sick maneuver. Not like, hey, man, I parked a boat. Sick boat parking job.
He's an example. Someone who TV, like if you saw him, like if I saw him like out in the streets, I'd be like really excited. Like, oh my God, there's Eddie. Only because he's been on television.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
There's no other reason to care at all.
Do you think Eddie gets recognized?
Yes.
Do you think Eddie goes to bars and people are like, oh my God, Eddie? I don't think anyone's watching this show. I really don't.
I don't know. Why not? It's
It's
so
a good show.
It's great stuff. Great material. Very entertaining.
I enjoy it.
Should we go to Survivor?
Let's go to Survivor.
It was John Rocker is really taking over this show. It's like this was a lot of Rocker.
It's all rocker all the time. And what happens to athletes on this show, Juliet?
They don't do well.
And they bounce. And he knows that. He even said it this episode. He's like, I found the idol. Athletes on the show usually get kicked off right before the merge. So I'm looking to save this till the 4th or 5th. It's like that, like formulaic. Like he knows what's
know.
going to happen to him.
I was surprised he wasn't better at like the challenges in general and stuff. Like
He lost to his girl.
he lost to his girl. More than he lost it. Like he just like kind of like he got really upset. He still has a really hot temper.
Yeah, I wonder what would like. He's so built physically, and he's got a really short fuse, and he acts out in rage. I wonder.
Anything else
Anyway,
you want to say about that?
No.
It's interesting to me that unlike with Uncle Cliffy was so uncontroversial,
Yeah.
but like everyone's like really aware of like his past transgressions. Like like I forget the name of the dude he went to exile with, but he was like
Jeremy.
very aware of his how he's been like racist and like just a total like bigot in the past. And it's interesting. Like I guess maybe I was sort of a little bit young for the John Rocker era.
You're like 6.
I was older than 6.
Okay.
But not that much older.
Yeah.
But everyone really remembers, and it definitely, it's going to hurt him on the show. That's for sure.
Hell yeah.
I felt bad for the girl and her twin sister was gone.
I liked it.
She was crying. It was sad.
And my favorite part was she's like, I haven't cried in 10 years. I was like, whoa. I was like,
know.
I cry at like commercials.
I know. A good
You know what I
cry
mean?
is necessary.
Yeah, man.
Every
It's
once
like
in
an
a
emotional
while.
pressure valve. You gotta let it
Yeah,
out.
Exactly.
10 years, and then she cried because her sister's off Survivor?
Well, they were on The Amazing Race together. They're like a real duo. But you had to have known going into the show you were going to be split up. They weren't putting you
Only
on
one
the same
person
track.
wins. Yeah. It's not like the twins are going to go to the finals.
Totally.
But I liked it as a twist. But like in general, it's an underperforming season. I'm not that fired up when I see Survivor on my.
What's the future of the show now? Like, how many more seasons do we have?
The thing is,
When do they end it? Is it
the
going to go on
show's
forever?
there's going to be advertiser interest in this show way past like when people start bailing on it. It's a network hit. Like it's going to be making money.
When do we bail on it?
Oh, I'm like emotionally there. I watched it this morning because my wife refused to watch it last night.
Well, I watched it at work today because I forgot to DVR it.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have admitted that on a podcast.
Whatever. This is work. Maybe doing research for your podcast.
Podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know yet. It just doesn't have the magic. Although I did like when Jeff got really tough with them because they were. So one tribe was trying to like barter for Flint, and they played it all wrong. But for some reason, Jeff got like really self-righteous about it.
I liked it.
It was good television, but I was like, whoa, what is Jeff so upset about?
I think he had a point. I think they tried to manipulate Jeff a little bit. They're like, well, we lost the reward. Or no, we won the reward, so now we have something we can trade. We can lose something. But if they would have lost, they wouldn't have made the trade. So they tried to game Jeff a little bit. And Jeff's like, no, I see those moves.
I think in a different era, Jeff would have been more like part. He would have been like, whoa, good for you guys, trying to like game me. But I feel like he was getting really
No
angry.
way. I liked it. And also, like, they lost the Flint, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's my number one strategy if I lose the Flint. Here's how I solve that problem. What do you think?
I don't know.
Find the Flint.
Oh.
It's like you're only living in like a place the size of
Yeah,
the
how could they-
studio.
how could they
Look
lose it?
around a little bit.
Maybe like they lost it in the water or something. How did they
No, they
lose
didn't.
it?
Did like this guy John made the fire and then like he's like, oh, I put it down over there. It's like I don't know, why don't you like rustle around some leaves over there? It seems
Vote
like they
out
just gave
John.
up on it.
John should be voted out for that. That's
John was pretty solid in the
a firewall
challenge,
offense.
if I remember.
Yeah, John knocked off John.
Yeah,
Rocker.
yeah, he took out Rocker.
It was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
What do you think about the mother versus daughter, Baylor versus Missy or something? Mother versus daughter is the ideal matchup for this
It's the
TV
ideal
show.
matchup for this type of thing.
Yeah.
I felt a lot about it, actually. The part, it felt like a little too real.
It was upsetting.
At first, this one chick gets headbutted in like the mother headbutts the daughter in the mouth, like just to start it, like the second the buzzer rings. And they stop down for a second. It's like, oh, whatever. It's like, no, I'm fired up. It's like, what are you fired up? Like, I'm visualize somebody else in that body. She's like, one of the exes, and the daughter's like, one of the exes. I was like, this is getting too real. Like, this is
Way
getting
too
too
real.
real. This is getting too real for like a fake sumo wrestling match on a float.
And then Baylor was like so happy to have won. She was like really excited.
Fired up.
It was a little disturbing. Like
Really?
I was just
Disturbing is what you're going with.
It's like, what do you guys have going on? This is such a hot button topic.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. I just was a little alarmed.
Do you know why we have to move on?
It's time for our taste test.
Very excited about the taste.
Tell us about it, Jacoby.
So, at a certain Ralph's, near us, Ralph's is a grocery store in Los Angeles.
Do you
they
wanna do-
have one of these fancy machines.
Yes.
And in that machine,
But, you know, you're not doing the machine justice.
okay, you do it then.
Okay, so it's like a computerized...
Just as long as you know that while you're doing this, I'm being very critical, okay? Just as long as you know that I'm being critical as
I
you do this.
accept the challenge.
Okay, but go move on then.
It's a computerized soda fountain machine wherein you get to it and it's a touch screen and they have all these different families of drinks. There's the Coke, there's Diet Coke, Coke Zero, Mellow Yellow, root beer, like Fanta, goes on and on. And then you select one and then within that you can pick all these different flavors. And then you can also like mix and match. So like, let's say you want like to go wild and have a little Coke with a little Fanta, you could do both. So there's like hundreds of possibilities that you can do here.
I mean, literally like millions of possibilities. If
Like,
you start mixing them together,
I need a
it's millions and
mathematician here
millions.
to figure this out for me.
Yeah.
And there's all these weird flavors we never heard of, particularly in the Sprite family.
See, Sprite seems to be like a nice base that you can then vary off of. We thought about going on a Coca-Cola flight because it's iconic, but Coca-Cola's got such a strong flavor on its own that you're going to get a hint of the other flavors. The Sprite flight, however...
You know how I know Sprite is a good base for this? It's a great mixer with alcohol. Like, just great.
Literally everything goes with Sprite.
Yeah, everything.
Gin and Sprite, vodka Sprite.
Vodka Sprite's
Yeah,
great drink if you're in college and
Yeah.
over the age of 21. You should try that out.
Yes,
Cheap.
yes. It's good. It's good. And if you're over the age of like 33, you're like, God, that's a lot of calories in that Sprite.
Yeah,
I think I'll have a vodka tonic.
Yeah, no way.
Oh,
Vodka
do you know what I found
soda.
out?
What?
Vodka tonic has as much
Ton of
calories
sugar.
as what?
Ton of sugar.
I was like, this is disgusting.
That's
too.
why you have to go vodka soda.
Yeah, you
That's
have to.
The only option, tiny splash of pineapple juice.
I had
The
a-
Juliet, vodka soda, splash of pineapple.
The Juliet. I had like a gin and tonic with my girl. I was like, oh, you know, I didn't want all the sugar or whatever. She's like, you know that has as much calories as a Coke. I was like, what?
Your tonic has a ton of sugar.
But I feel like it should taste good if it has a ton of sugar.
Tonic is disgusting. I don't
What
like.
is the flavor of tonic?
I don't know. I don't like it.
Who made it for
Where did
what?
that come from? It used to be used like tonic is not. It's been corrupted. Like the original tonic water was like used like if you were
Stomach
sick.
settler?
Yeah.
Oh.
And now the tonic that you buy at the grocery store is like essentially.
Does
only
anyone
for
ever
mixers.
say like, do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to a nice restaurant and be like, may I have a tonic?
No, I don't think so.
No, what do people? The only time people have tonic is
Gin
when?
and tonic,
Gin and tonic.
vodka
That's
tonic,
it.
yeah.
That's it.
Vodka tonic's not even as common as gin and tonic.
Let's get to the Sprite flight.
Okay.
Okay. Because what you have is you have these weird Sprite options.
So we have 4 different Sprite flavors.
We have 4 different. We have 2 different straws because Juliet doesn't like to share straws.
Thank you for respecting my needs.
I think that we should split them up. Try one at a time.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So this is strawberry Sprite.
How do you know that?
I put an S on the cup.
Oh, I had a hard time doing that, so.
Yes, you did. You had a hard time doing that. Strawberry Sprite. One of my concerns is that they're all just going to taste like. But give it a second. Don't give me your response until I get a chance here.
I really like it.
I think that's disgusting.
I really like it.
Try it again. I think that's disgusting.
Have you ever had strawberry soda? Like it?
Yeah, Fanta strawberry. I've had that. Strawberry Sprite. It's. Here's my thing about these flavors.
This is what this is missing. Just like a hint of vanilla, a tiny bit.
Oh, well, next up, vanilla Sprite.
Oh my god, I'm gonna mix them later.
You're a lunatic. So now we have vanilla Sprite. Here's my thing. Let me just go a quick thing about artificial flavors.
Love it.
Strawberry.
Wait.
Vanilla.
Can you do a quick power rank of your top 5 artificial flavors?
No. Yes. Grape, watermelon.
Wow.
I don't consider lemon and lime artificial.
No.
We'll get there. Grape, watermelon, orange, strawberry, fruit punch.
Ooh, interesting. My clear number 1 is peach. Number 1.
Mm.
1 peach, 2 mango, 3 strawberry.
Artificial mango is not good. But they don't taste, strawberry flavoring tastes nothing like strawberries.
Yeah, it's like its own distinct entity.
That's the thing. It's like, oh, artificial strawberry has nothing to do with strawberries. If you gave an alien a strawberry and an alien an artificial thing, they would be like, there is no relation with these two things.
It's a good point. So here comes
Vanilla Sprite. I'm surprised by this, and I'll tell you why.
I don't hate it.
They do taste like Sprite with a hint of a flavor. I was concerned that it would just be like vanilla soda.
No, I like this.
But if you gave that to me and said, what is that? I would be like, that tastes like Sprite with like a little bit of cream soda.
This is good.
That's solid.
Yeah, can I have another sip?
Yeah, dude, go for it. It's also soda. You know what I mean? So of course it's good.
Also, I never drink like real soda anymore.
Vanilla Sprite.
That was good.
Who knew?
Great work, Jacoby. You chose all these flavors.
This one, I have a feeling you're going to like.
Let me try to guess it. Oh, is it peach?
Yes. You guessed it right.
I'm so excited.
Peach Sprite. I like to try to read your face to see what you think. One thing I want to notice for people listening to this, the coloring is very, very artificial.
Very.
Because like, I would
colors.
I would believe these a little bit more if the peach Sprite was just clear. It was like, oh, there's a little bit of peach flavor in there, but you can't see it. But this is just like orange. Oh, that's disgusting.
I like it. I like it.
That is disgusting.
I like it.
This tastes like.
It tastes like peach citrus fresca. Have you ever had
tastes
that?
like that. You know what it tastes like? It tastes like I spilled wine on a white shirt, and someone was like, "Oh my God, you've got to try this spray. You've got to try this spray. It gets wine stains out like you wouldn't believe. Here, they sprayed on me. I'm like, it smells. It's gross, like chemicals."
I like it, but it's my third favorite. Even though peach generally is my favorite flavoring.
All right, we've only got one more here. Rounding third, heading into home. It's raspberry. Raspberry's a bad artificial
Don't have
flavor.
high hopes for this.
I'm just saying raspberries in general, way overrated.
I think so too.
What's good about raspberry? Raspberry cobbler? Like, what's a good raspberry dessert? Is there such a thing?
No. Oh, no. Sorry.
First of all, you're supposed to...
Sorry. Just, it's so bad.
That tastes like what I imagine the Kim Kardashian perfume smells like.
It tastes like disgusting. Oh, I don't like that. Strawberry and vanilla, though, I'm into it.
I'm going to say...
I'm impressed.
Vanilla Sprite was pretty solid.
This really exceeded my expectations.
If you push... All right, so I started to try to figure out how the machine works, this magical soda machine.
Okay.
I think they've only got like a little bit of... They've got grape flavor. They've got all the flavors. They just put a little dash of that into whatever your base is.
Sure, it's like 2 streams.
Exactly. So and then they've got this kind of figured out. So I'm just wondering, like, what would a grape Coke taste like? I think that we lucked upon a nice base.
That's disgusting.
You know?
Grape flavoring is probably my least favorite flavoring of all the flavorings.
I just don't think they should call it grape. They should call it purple.
It's interesting. That's like an interesting idea, though. It's like, you know, because when you taste something grape flavored, you're like, oh yeah, it's grape flavored. Like we have 2 things that are called grape in our minds.
Yeah, and they're not the same.
Right.
That's my problem with the whole thing. Like watermelon.
Right.
If you bite into a watermelon, it tastes like a watermelon. If you have like a watermelon Hubba Bubba, it's a completely different experience.
Fruit and grape is a particularly egregious one, but fruit in general, so much of it is texture, not just flavor.
Totally. Like I had a grape this morning.
Yeah, me
We've got
too.
some great grapes at my house right now.
It's a good time in California.
Really good batch of grapes. And I was like, this is great. And then I thought about like a grape soda. I was like, there's just no relation. And then I also thought about wine. I was like, I don't even know how this gets to wine.
There's some really deep grape thoughts.
Yeah, man, I've got hot grape takes.
All right, well, we'll do it on the Grape podcast.
Yeah, but we do. We want to continue the taste test, even though people hate it. If you have suggestions for us,
maybe people will like this one because
no one likes them.
no sound of chewing.
Even my mom was like, nah.
Really? If we've lost your mom,
really.
we've lost our base.
We've lost everybody. Yeah.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
All right.
But what were we thinking next time?
Salsa.
Salsa.
We're gonna dip into the condiment world.
I like what you did there. Dip into the condiment world with some tortilla chips and come out with mango salsa.
Hell yeah!
So we'll start with some condiments. I want to do salad dressings as well.
Ooh, I like it.
But then you have to think about the vehicle with which you dip into the salad dressing.
I know what it is.
Let's do shots. Shots of salad. Let's do shots.
Shot.
Salad dressing shots. Come on, we have to now.
Or we could use little cucumber rounds.
Yeah.
Shot.
All right, back to reality television.
Weird watches. So, Jacoby,
Yeah.
tell us about couples therapy. What's going on?
Juan Pablo.
Okay.
Juan Pablo and Nikki are back. Now, I didn't like
It's
Juan
okay.
Pablo's season.
It's okay.
It's okay, but I like this show. I didn't like Juan Pablo's season, really. It was weird. It ended weird. And, like, you're like, ah, this guy's a jerk. You thought he was a jerk. And Andy Dorfman eviscerated him. It was all great. Everybody turned on Juan Pablo. He's the heel. Everybody hates him, right? Then you get in couples therapy.
With Jen, Dr. Jen.
Dr. Jen. It starts to flip. Nikki starts mouthing off to the producers. And then she gets in trouble for it. She starts mouthing off to Dr. Jen.
Whoa.
Starts complaining about the cameras being everywhere. Starts complaining about Juan Pablo. Starts complaining about what are we going to do with our lives? Where's this relationship going? It started to, like, really flip to the point where Juan Pablo is like, she's in the background, and he looks at the producer and goes, do you see what I deal with? He's like, now you understand.
Oh, my
Juan
God.
Pablo has been
Juan
vindicated.
Pablo. That's crazy.
He's actually might not be the bad guy.
Maybe they're just both bad guys, though.
I mean, let's be honest. They're both bad guys.
Interesting, though. Like, is he, like, kind of a jerk, or is he, like, upset? Like, is it, like, a playful, or is he angry?
He
What's his
doesn't
tone
come
like?
on. He doesn't. His tone hasn't changed much, but there is a little bit that's you're like, maybe this isn't 100% his fault.
Interesting.
Like maybe she doesn't come
sucks.
across that nice.
Maybe she just.
You know, and like she's on the show, they talk about the cameras or whatever. She's like, well, you know, and I think Dina was kind of like, look, like you kind of got everything you got because of this whole camera thing, so stick with it. She's like got a decent head wrapped around her shoulders, or however that thing goes.
Decent head on top of her
On her
shoulders.
shoulders, yeah. And she's like, Nikki, like, you know, she's like, you can't talk like this, and then everyone's gonna stop caring. And she's like, well, maybe people will stop bothering me while I'm eating. Then fine, like maybe that'll happen. It was
She
just
sounds
like,
very unpleasant.
yeah, it was like,
also
whoa,
childish.
Nikki. It was like, whoa.
Okay.
Yes.
I should tune in. I don't know why. I just think VH1 programming, I just can't get down with.
Not enough Tretch. They have Tretch on the show, and he does nothing.
From
Naughty by Nature.
Naughty by Nature.
You were about to say Hip Hop Hooray, weren't you?
No.
Okay.
I was just hoping you'd finish the sentence so I couldn't remember.
That's fine.
So you got me there. So thanks, buddy.
No problem.
Who else is anyone else famous that I care about on the show?
Famous. It's Dina.
Noteworthy.
Dina, Tretch, Evil Dick from Big Brother.
Don't care.
And one of the most interesting arrivals has been none other than Jenna Jameson.
Oh, interesting. Who's her guy?
John Wood, who is an MMA trainer, I believe.
I'm so out of the MMA world, but that's like a real thing.
The thing about Jenna Jameson you notice is she looks like she's been in Los Angeles for a long time. And she has...
Diplomatic, okay.
She has, like you can tell, is one tattoo artist did all of her tattoos, and she's got these really well done, detailed, giant faces all over her arms. And they're like covered in like all these faces that are looking at her. It's weird.
Nice.
That's what she's up to, man.
Okay.
That's what's going on in couples there over in Pasadena at Dr. Jen's place.
Nice. What was the other show you were watching? Oh, the Singles Project ended, and I want you to tell me how it ended. Who ended up with whom?
Here's the thing about the Singles Project. I believe in the format. Like, I believe in the
real-time
show,
reality
the
show.
real-time thing. Like, this is what happened last week. They're like, oh my God, like, you know, they like news events kind of getting involved, and like you can date these people if you tweet at them and things of that nature. But like this cast it just didn't work. It was too kitschy. It didn't really work. And what they tried to do is make us care about this like Lee situation where J.A. Adonde was gonna like maybe or maybe not end up with this girl, and they had a fake fight underneath the scaffolding in New York, which was so much like Kevin Powell and Becky's real fight.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
I was just like, wait, this is not. But it was poorly acted. What they're doing is they're taking real people and trying to make them into thespians, and it's like really hard to be a good actor. And these people dentists can't pull it off. Shocking news. Dentists, not great actors.
So it's a casting problem, though. There's hope for this show.
Yes, that's the thing. Is I think that they recast the show, maybe put it in a different city. No, it has to be New York. Just got more interesting people.
And also, like, the dating is more fluid. Like, it's more realistic. Like, every night you could, like, go on a different date or something.
Yeah.
Or, like, just, like, drop in for drinks one place and then, like, move on or something.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well,
Tell me The Chair Update, which is the show that I've never heard of.
no one else is watching
every
it.
week, no one's watching it, but you're going to give an update every week on the
But
show.
you want to know, maybe people will start watching it because the LeBron James show is now on, like, either right before or right after.
Which one? The Beginnings or whatever?
Survivor or something?
LeBron's got a lot of shows.
I know, he does.
Survivor's Remorse?
Survivor's Remorse, yeah.
Oh.
On Stars.
Oh.
Right before, I think. The Chair moves too slowly. It's like we've been doing too much like pre-production for too long. Let's get to the filming. And by the time I see these movies, it's going to be hard for me to care. But I like the show itself is well done. Like, it's a well-made show. Like, I don't know. I like the tone of it. Also, they definitely make their own people. Like, the producers of the show made the producers of the respective movies, who are obviously also involved in the shows, look the best. Like, the creative people look crazy or, like, difficult. And the, like, producers seem like cool, normal people.
Yeah.
But I would give myself a good edit too, so.
Sometimes when I watch those shows that I know that no one's watching, like on those, like when you're up in like the 400s on your little like DirecTV dial, and I see that they're really well done, I kind of feel bad for the people making them. I'm like, God, man, someone put some real care into this.
No one's
like,
gonna see this.
Like, this is like really excellently done. Like, it's like the music is scored to it, and like it's all like really well shot.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, no one's watching this.
It's like a beautiful TV show.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like you would like appreciate how pretty
That's
it
the
is.
thing, but like when I do appreciate that, I'm like, I'm bored.
Yeah, I know. Okay, let's move on. That's why you're not watching the chair.
Yeah, exactly. Where's Below Deck?
Let's go to news. It's a pretty eventful
A
week.
lot of news, man.
Number one, Utopia dropped from the Tuesday schedule on Fox. Pour one out for Utopia.
Pour a little out for Utopia.
Oh my God, don't do it.
That's what we do. You obviously aren't watching Jalen and Jacoby. And there's a lot of pouring out going on. This carpet has got like 17 diseases.
That's dirty.
Yeah, that's happened a lot.
Wow. Okay, keep going.
It's out on Tuesdays. I ride for this show. I still like this show, but something happened.
What?
It's on Friday nights.
Okay.
It was recorded. I was really excited about it.
Didn't record?
No, it recorded. And I was going to watch it, and my wife said, I'm out.
Whoa!
She's like, I don't want to see that right now.
Whoa!
And I was just like, if you're out, I don't even know what to do. I think everybody's out, but I'm still involved. I'm still involved in Utopes.
Okay.
You know, they're building a woodshed. You know, that's what's going on around there.
I feel bad for the shows like being canceled and they're still like living in Utopia. Like it sucks. Like even the shows, they still have to do it.
That's the thing, is like this, they left for a year. They're like a week behind. So they're like in their first 2 months in Utopia. They've got 10 more months left. And in their mind, they're probably like humongous stars. But in reality, like the show's getting canceled. Just no one told them. Like they might not even air anymore and they have to live there for 8 more months.
But they must let them out. Like if the show gets canceled.
Yeah, why wouldn't they? It would just be a waste of money to have them
like
milking cows in the morning and stuff when they can just go to the store.
It just seems so bad.
But they introduced this new thing where they're voting people out now, so it's kind of like more traditional, but it's not.
Have they like created anything cool within Utopia?
They try, like they do this thing where they rotate who's in charge every like 3 weeks, and like essentially I think like the producers made them do it so they could like try out a new form of government. You know what I mean? Like, well, I'm a monarchy, and like, and I'm, you know, this is gonna be democratic. And this one chick was like, we're gonna go anarchy, and anarchy means that like you treat everybody like you want to be treated. I was like, that's the golden rule. I was like, that's the golden rule. You learn that in kindergarten.
That's
not
the opposite.
Anarchy. I think that's different. I think you got confused about your ideology.
Really
here,
funny.
like be unto others is not anarchy. Like,
really
just treat other people like the way you want to be treated. Like that's the golden rule.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's what's happening in Utopia.
Okay, moving on. I read a rumor today on realitytvworld.com.
Ooh.
I think Bethany is headed back to the Real Housewives of New York.
All right, someone needs to tell you this.
What is it?
You're the only person that cares about Nick Carter and Bethany in the whole entire world. No one else cares.
Nick Carter has a lot of fans around the world.
I don't think so. Not anymore. Once upon a time, maybe.
More outside of this country than in the country. Seriously.
What country is Nick Carter like a big
like
star?
Europe and Asia. They're really popular in Asia.
Those aren't countries. Okay? Those are not countries.
In the countries of Asia, he's really popular.
Okay.
I swear.
What's the capital of Asia?
It's a continent, so we
Okay.
don't have one.
All right, fair. You passed. Pass the test.
I'm excited. That will bring me back to the show. It really would.
What will?
Bethany.
Really?
Yeah. For a few weeks. I'm kind of out on the Housewives in general, as you know. But
Yeah, Housewives are a tough watch. Atlanta's the best one.
speaking of Housewives, Teresa got sentenced today. Teresa and Joe. So Teresa got sentenced to 15 months in prison, and Joe got 41 months. They were both convicted for bankruptcy, mail, and wire fraud. Mail fraud? Who does that? Mail fraud.
I think it's probably just like a term for someone writing bad checks and sending them in the mail.
I guess so.
Yeah.
And then, so they're not going to do it concurrently, so that one of them can be home with the kids. Like, I'm sure they both have like a lot of childcare, regardless. Though, anyway, and Joe likely will be deported back to Italy after his sentence.
Really? I thought that wasn't clear yet.
It's not positive. It's not definite, but it's probable. Also, apparently, he didn't know until this trial that he wasn't an American citizen. He claims. So I guess he like
That's an interesting take.
I guess he never tried to vote or anything.
Let me just throw this out there. I can understand not voting, but like not knowing you're not an American citizen.
When does it come? Like also,
It
what about
comes
his passport?
up when you get passports and you go
Yeah.
on trips and you fill out stuff. Like you fill out forms.
Well, as we know, he's not really filling out forms. He would if he was.
Fair point. Fair point. He wouldn't be in this mess.
Yeah.
There was one number that stuck out to me when I very briefly read this article, and it was like how much they've been fined and it's like they have to pay in retribution.
Not very much.
It was like 400,000.
Yeah.
And I was like they live in like a $2-3 million home.
Apparently, it also said, I don't know if this is true, but they're claiming that Bravo pays for almost all of the furniture in the house. Like, it's all used for staging.
Hell no.
That's not
okay?
true,
As
right?
someone who works on television shows, there's no way I'm gonna be like, okay, cool. You live in this house, I'll just fill it with really expensive furniture so
Yeah.
it'll look good on camera. That's not how it works.
I know, it's weird. And then they claimed all of her jewelry was costume jewelry, none of it was real.
Then it wasn't worth anything?
Yeah. It seems like a lot of manipulations. I'm not a lawyer or a judge. It's just what I think. So yeah, so she's gone.
Yeah, it's a trip, man.
She's out. She's going to Orange is the New Teresa. Teresa is the new black.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy because I bet everybody in jail knows who she is.
Oh, they've been there a long time, maybe.
They have TVs there, man. They have TVs.
She'll probably not going to like a maximum security prison.
I don't think that's what's happening with her. What else
But
we got?
if you have a TV in jail, are you really watching Bravo? I mean, I guess it's pretty good jail programming.
I have no idea.
Me neither. What else do we got? Portia from Real Housewives of Atlanta has been downgraded to just being a friend, not a regular.
But when I read this on the rundown, it says Portia downgraded to just friend. I thought it was like with Cordell Stewart. I thought it was like in a relationship. Like I didn't know it was just like as like a B player on the show.
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel about that?
She, if you watch the show,
I do occasionally.
she wasn't a key player in the show, especially after the Cordell situation played out.
So it makes sense to you.
Yeah, it does
Okay.
make sense to me.
Cool.
You're missing the most important
Yeah, I was
piece
saving
of news.
it for last.
So excited about
Here it is. Jax and Tom, who hated each other, I thought, from Vanderpump Rules, are currently on tour in Australia making club appearances.
There are so many things about that sentence that I want a follow-up question on. Number one is, do they show the show in Australia?
I guess so.
Okay, so now we know that they show the show in Australia. Is it more popular in Australia?
I think
than is
it
here?
must be.
It must be, right? So like,
Yeah.
what about that show like really resonates with the Australian audience?
Maybe they just all work at, hip, trendy eateries. And they
I guess.
really get it.
I don't even know.
How much would you pay to see Jax and Tom at a club?
$0.
$0. Agreed.
$0.
I would.
I would
be
actively not go
disincentive.
there
Yeah,
because the type of crowd that's going to draw is not going to be my crowd.
No.
All right, so they fly to Australia. Who foots the bill? Who sits in a conference room?
The club promoters.
So the club promoters is like, guys, we need to get more people in our club.
Good
I
one.
can't do it.
I liked
I
it.
can't do it. So and then they're like, oh, the way we can do this is like, let's bring some Americans over from television. They're like, cool. Is Kiefer Sutherland available? Like, no. Like how long did they get down the list? They're like, what about that guy?
Who's more recognizable? Someone out of costume from Game of Thrones or Jax and Tom?
Someone out of costume from Game of Thrones. Because Game of Thrones has real fans. They really care.
Do-do-do-do. Yeah.
Like, I kind of forgot who Tom Sandoval was for a second, and I watched every episode of every one of those shows. I just can't imagine how this goes. I can't imagine they're popular in Australia. I can't imagine that, like, what happens when they go to the nightclub. They get a VIP table where they get some bottles, and then, like, 55-year-old housewives come over and, like, hit on them.
I don't know. How much Australian television? Did you watch Real Housewives of Melbourne, by the way?
No.
I heard it was really good. I never watched it.
Oh, I would have liked to watch that.
I know. I'm bummed. I'm disappointed in myself. But I really like some other Australian programming, particularly all the Chris Lilly shows, like Summer Heights High.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's so over the top, like, un-PC. It's hilarious. Like, maybe that's kind of why they like it, because it's just so ridiculous. But, like, maybe they don't think
Are we sure they like it? Like, I'm throwing this out there.
we're
I'm
not
gonna throw this
sure
out
at
there.
all.
I have an idea. Jax is at an airport bar, LAX, drinking heavy. Some guy, guess what? The flight to Australia is delayed. Some guy sits down next to Jax. They strike up a conversation, and he's like, oh, I'm a club promoter in Australia. Why don't you just come over for free? It's like, all right.
Yeah, why wouldn't he go?
This can't be a business strategy. This has to be like a know somebody that knows somebody
I
thing.
mean, like, why would you go?
I just worked that out in my head. Like, there was no idea that this was like someone cold called Jack's manager and was like, I've got a business pitch for you. You come to Australia.
Dare to dream, though. I'm going to choose to believe that happened.
Also throwing this out there, touring Australia, not easy.
It's a huge country.
Yeah, man.
Huge.
Like touring New England is hard, and it's like you drive an hour and a half. Like Australia's like, all right, like let's get in the bus and drive for 15 hours to get to the next city. Like, oh,
huge.
we can't stop for gas because there's nothing in between these cities.
Yeah, and it's like probably an arduous journey for them. I hope they brought a lot of like hair gel and stuff.
Yeah, I hope they make it back.
Me too, because I want some more Vanderpump. Although I think they were filming over the summer.
So we still have like some minutes left in this podcast. I don't know if we saved enough because non-reality news this week is important to you.
George Clooney's wedding.
All right,
Clune Dog's off the market.
one thing? Okay, Clune Dog is good. One thing I want to say is I know absolutely nothing about this wedding. So please.
Do you know anything about his bride? Like, do you know?
Yeah, but if you gave me like a 10-question quiz, I would get 2 out of 10.
Okay, I'll just give you the basics on her real quick.
Yeah.
British, of Lebanese descent.
Down with the hill.
Amal Alamuddin is her name. Mm-hmm. She's a barrister, a lawyer. She's like really.
So she makes like lattes and stuff?
Yeah, she works at Starbucks.
She works at Starbucks?
She's really passionate about
Yes.
human rights.
Yeah, that's good.
She's younger. She's like 37.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, ready for
younger.
shots? Looks
Shot.
older.
Ooh!
She does.
Shots.
Shots.
Interesting.
Everybody, creamy ranch. Shots. Ginger sesame.
Anyway, so you think she looks older? She's like really like she's like a real woman, you know, like good for her.
She's
a
not
lot
like
of
a
substance.
cocktail waitress in Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that one.
Whatever, George, you do you. You know, he ended up in a good place. So they got married in Venice. Some celeb friends included John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, Matt Damon, Bill Murray, Bono, Cindy Crawford, because her husband is partners with George.
Miranda Gerber.
Mm-hmm. In the tequila business. So I read on E! Online that the wedding cost $4.6 million.
That's not true.
This is there's one thing they got objectively wrong. They said that she wore a dress by Alexander McQueen that would cost like $380,000, but she actually wore an Oscar de la Renta dress. So that's factually incorrect.
380 is like 10% of $4 million. You know what I mean? So to get that wrong, it's like you can tell this is a moving target.
And then they just in their calculations, they assume that George and Amal would be footing the bill for everyone's like hotel stays, and they're like, it's like X dollars amount a month. Yeah. I don't think Bono needs George Clooney to pay for his hotel.
Yeah. He gets to the registration desk, he's like, I'm checking in. It's like Bono on a B-O-N-O. They're like, oh, okay, cool, credit card. He's like, no.
Yeah, it's like no.
This is not George. This is on G-Dog. This is on the Clune Dog. What do you call him?
Clune Dog.
Clune Dog. Did you just make that up now? I like it.
One of my best friends is named Claudia, and she goes by Clune Dog sometimes.
Shout to her.
I hope she listens to this. It'll be exciting.
Probably doesn't.
No, she definitely does not. Anyway, so then like to get to the wedding, they had, you know, there's all the canals. They had all these water taxis. Like everyone had like their own like individual water taxi. It was like a procession of the water taxis in Venice.
Ooh, let me throw this out there. If I'm in the first water taxi and I get there, I know it's a procession of 100. I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah, you're so
I have to
early.
wait for 90 minutes for
you
these.
Know it's like
and you know what's so hard? We learned it's really hard to park a boat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that alone is 2 hours of just waiting.
There must have definitely been some kind of like hierarchy, some ranking of who goes first.
Ooh.
So like who's being forced to wait the longest, who like for photography reasons too.
And do you know how that always ends up? Like being family. Like, oh, no. Like mom, dad, like you're first. Like, but the important people, the celebrities, friends of mine that are movie stars, they're last.
I was gonna guess like probably some of her lawyer friends had to go first. Like who cares about them or whatever.
She's a lawyer? I thought she worked at Starbucks.
Sorry, some of her barista friends.
Barista friends. Okay, good.
I also read that one of her friends gave a speech at the wedding and said, like, ever since Amal met George, she's been so happy and she's been on time always now. Like, that he doesn't accept lateness because, like, she's always been on time.
Is that a thing? He doesn't accept lateness?
I don't know. I didn't know that, but I love that fact.
I like that he's punctual.
Me too,
George,
I
wouldn't expect it because all I hear about, like, when you think George Clooney, you think pranks.
15 to 20 behind, yeah, like, you know.
Yeah, like
LA
he's a prankster. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm, like, pathologically punctual, so I really respect that. I
also like that he plays pickup hoops. That's another one about George Clooney.
There's nothing wrong with George Clooney. Name one thing wrong with him. Like, try to find one fault.
He got married?
No, I'm happy that he's happy. Good for him.
All right, he'll be divorced in like 5 years.
He waited. I really hope not. He waited for the right woman.
Okay.
I think.
You're invested in this.
Yeah, I think they're a great couple.
What other details from the wedding you got?
They had a civil ceremony the day after. Like, that's when it became legal, which is interesting. Kind of the opposite of how we do it here in America. What else? His dad gave a speech.
What about the reception?
I don't know. Not a ton of deets about it.
Wasn't there something where they had to like hand over their like cell phones and they got burner phones
picture
or something?
embargo, I'm sure.
Yeah. But how do we see pictures then? Did they do like
They
one
released
official
them.
one?
They released them for the highest bidder, and of course they're donating all the money to charity. Of course.
Why don't they just release them for free?
Because why not help your
why not
charities?
make money for charities? There's nothing wrong with that.
It's like a nice thing to do.
So you think this is going to last?
I'm hopeful. Yeah.
The Clune dog
Coon dog. Yeah.
off the market.
It's sad for it. It's sad, kind of, but like I want to believe in love.
Wait. Why is it sad?
Because, like, you know, just the idea of George Clooney being a bachelor is, like, fun. Mixing it up. Out
That's
of the
why
town.
I like it. Yeah. Like, I like it.
Snapping,
Yeah.
shots.
Lots of shots and snapping. Like, that's why it's kind of a drag that he got married. Because I like the idea that he had this Lake Como place.
Sure.
And he would just, like, find a cocktail waitress.
It's not named after the governor of New York.
It's not?
Lake Como.
Oh, I thought it was Cuomo.
No.
It's not the governor of New York's lake? Oh, that changes everything. They got married in Venice, Italy? I thought it was
Yeah.
Venice Beach.
Oh, you weren't invited? Everyone in the state of California
I thought
but
it was
you.
Venice Beach. Oh, the procession down that canal would be a lot more of a problem.
And also, like, dirtier.
Yeah.
Well, Venice doesn't seem that clean. All right, you know what? Thanks for listening. I hope you guys should try these Sprites out. They're really
Yeah,
good.
man. Vanilla Sprite, big winner.
Vanilla and strawberry. I'm going to mix them together. It's going to get
Yeah,
really
mix some booze
real.
in it. It's Friday. Get crazy.
Yeah, get some vodka in there.
You see, every podcast we put on YouTube comes with this fancy graphic listing all the topics that your favourite Grantland podcasters are talking about. If you click the topics, you can skip around and choose your own podcast adventure. Subscribe to the Grantland Podcast channel to blaze your own trail on this sonic journey.